Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Dead on Dave, and we're here for Monday's weekly roundup. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. We got some big returns in television last night as far as, and a premiere. Better Call Saul premiered to much fanfare, I think. I did not get a chance to watch it yet, but I'm hearing very good things. The Walking Dead returned last night. My wife did not know that, and she's looking at me. I only watched the first 10 minutes. I haven't watched it yet because I was watching it and I said I should watch this with my wife. You're right, I didn't say that at all. But I only watched the first 10 minutes and then I was really tired because I hadn't slept all night, so I didn't finish it yet. But don't be so surprised. It's The Walking Dead and it's back. All kinds of good stuff returns, so that's great. Ooh, new Bob's Burgers. Yeah, and it's hilarious for those of you who are Bob's Burgers inclined. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on a little bit of TV stories real quick. We're going to talk some other stuff as well. We're going to talk Bo Dallas. We're going to, as you see his little banner right there. We're going to talk some Monday Night Raw preview, but I want to start with Dean Smith, the legendary North Carolina Tar Heel basketball head coach, college basketball head coach. If you don't know who Dean Smith is, let me try to put it in perspective for you as best as I can. Everybody likes to make Mount Rushmores. You know, that's kind of like the thing to do in each sport or whatever. Well, if there was a Mount Rushmore for college basketball head coach, Dean Smith would clearly be on one of the four. It would probably be Dean Smith, Mike Krzyzewski, Bobby Knight, and John Wooden. That's what I would think would be the four on the Mount Rushmore. But Dean Smith had a legendary career, and he died over the weekend. He had impact both on and off the court. He changed and sculpted many young men's lives, including Michael Jordan. Many don't know where Michael Jordan would have been without Dean Smith. You know, so there's just so many things. He was a father figure on and off the court to so many kids, and one of the only basketball coaches that seems nowadays that doesn't get disgraced at some point, you know, after their career's over. So, Godspeed, Dean Smith. Born in 1931, died 2015. Kind of sad. Kind of sad. So, how to smoothly segue for something so sad? Well, that's easy. That's easy. You go to the most inspirational man in all of wrestling, right? You go to Bo Dallas. And he's returned to house shows, and he should be returning to TV at any time, but he touted out a special message to the Seattle Seahawks. Let's go ahead and check that out real quick.
Hi, Seattle. I know last week you were making the biggest mistake in NFL history, but it's okay. All you gotta do is keep believing. Hi, Seattle. I know last week...
Okay, I only let you see it once. All right. I don't like this gimmick. I've never claimed to like this gimmick. I'll never like this gimmick. It doesn't work for Bo Dallas, but he is funny. Okay, there is something naturally funny about this guy. If for nothing more than how hard he stretches his face to smile like that. It's ridiculous. If he wore a Vietnamese hat and just elongated his mustache, he would be a caricature. He would be a stereotype photograph of like Vietnamese or Chinese people. It's crazy. It's absolutely ridiculous. What do you think of Bo Dallas coming back and having the exact same gimmick? I feel there should have been a change. I think this was a good opportunity to repackage him, and maybe they still will. I think there's a really good opportunity to use him in a feud with Bray Wyatt down the line. Obviously, since they're brothers, I think that's a really cool thing. But I don't know. The gimmick worked so well in NXT. It really did. But it just, he's got a, and you might want to argue. You might want to say, oh, he is over. No, he's not. His Bolieving is over. But other than that, nobody gives a crap about Bo Dallas. He wrestles boring matches. He doesn't do anything very well in the ring. I mean, he's not exceptional. He's not an exceptional worker in the ring. I didn't think he was in NXT. I don't think he is now. He doesn't have the same unorthodox style that makes Bray Wyatt watchable. So it's hard to place Bo Dallas properly. I think this guy is a dude destined for tag team division. I think if you put him in the right tag team, this could be he'd be a great tag team worker. His size, he does have some speed. You know, he's not a big guy, so he's got some speed. He's got some agility. He'd be a great worker in a tag team unit. I don't see him as a legitimate, you know, even top mid-carder or mid-carder at all wrestler. I just don't know what to do with Bo Dallas. He is a problem, I think, for WWE. That was not really because he was hurt. But now that he's back, what do you do with him? Where do you place him? That's a really tough question. You don't know exactly what to do with the guy at this point. And we're talking about a company that is kind of directionless with guys that do have a lot of talent. I mean, they've seemed to put everything in the flux right now with this whole teaming of Ryback and Ziggler. Now nobody knows what the hell is going on. Nobody knows what they're going to do with these guys. Essentially, they've cut out so many people by doing it because where are their feuds? What's going to happen with Rollins at this point? Well, Rollins is going to be, unless he's going to be in the main event picture, which you'd think that he probably will be in some capacity. But if not, what is he going to be doing? And all these guys have all these questions, and then here's Bo Dallas coming back. And he's coming back with a crop of established superstars as well, because at the same time we have both Sheamus and Randy Orton returning at seemingly any event. I mean, Randy Orton's been showing up at the same events that Bo Dallas has been at live events. So the question is, what do you do with these guys? And where do you thrust them into? I mean, I guess the logic for Rollins would be Randy Orton, but what about Bo Dallas? Do you put him in there with Sheamus? I have no idea at this point. You got to heel Sheamus. Maybe Bo Dallas would work. I think he would work better as a face, personally. I think this Bolieving gimmick would work way better as a face gimmick. So maybe you have him with a returning Sheamus. And that might be something that would be interesting. But I'm sure with turning Sheamus heel, the last thing they want to do is make him look weak. So it's a really tough situation. What are they going to do at this point with some of these guys? It just seems like there's a directionless void that needs to be filled. I have no... that was erotically dirty. And all right, look at me. So there's all that stuff going on. And then there's tonight. We got Monday Night Raw that nobody seems to know what's going to happen on this Monday Night Raw. This is a weird one because of the strange build that's happening to Fastlane. So I think the biggest things to talk about is how are the Authority going to continue to stack the deck against Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns? This is the classic moment before a big match that you have a tag team match. They're going to, obviously, I'm fairly certain we're going to see Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns work together tonight on Raw to see if they can they hold it together? Will they turn on each other? Can they work as a unit? You know, that whole thing. They always do that. And it'll probably be against a combination of Big Show, Kane, and Seth Rollins. I'm sure that'll be something to that effect. It would not surprise me at all. I think one of the bigger storylines, hopefully they'll make a bigger emphasis on it tonight, is Golden Stardust. Are they going to completely, in WWE's words, supernova? Are they going to explode? How are they going to continue to build this feud to WrestleMania? And will they have a match before then? Will we see them get physical at Fastlane? I don't know. It's quite crazy. I want to say a quick thank you to my family, because instead of simply walking out of the room to whisper to each other and like get stuff together, you know, like what a normal family would do, they would walk out of the room when they see the patriarch of the family, the man of the house, in his room doing a program for people. You would think that they would have enough respect for this father, this God among men, to walk out of the room and talk to each other. But no, not my family. Not my family. They will sit here and distract me completely and whisper like chatty little Cathys right in front of my face. So I want to say thank you for that. You guys are incredible.
You're welcome.
And you're smart asses to boot. Smart asses to boot. See, you're grounded, and you, woman, wife, no more sex, even more. Haven't had sex in a while, you're banned even longer.
Banned.
Banned?
Banned.
Grounded? Banned?
You're banned.
You're banned. You're banned in groundedness.
We were whispering.
You were whispering rather loud. You need to work on whispering.
You have to work on whispering.
Your face needs to work on whispering.
Your mouth has to
Work on concentrating.
I'm doing a show! What are you guys doing?
Go to the other room.
You go to the other room.
You go to the other room.
Oh, my God.
Come to your show.
I'm going to try and do my show now.
Love you.
I love you, too. I love you, too, Popo. We are family. That's about brothers and sisters, though. Oh, well. Isn't it? Isn't it? I got more my brothers than me. Isn't that the words?
No, I just see gay Robin Williams.
Gay Robin.
When I see that, when I hear that song. Birdcage.
Birdcage. Yeah, I knew the reference.
But maybe they don't.
I'm sure most people know the birdcage. Well, you know what? This is a young audience. If you know what the birdcage is, please make a reference to it in the comments section below, so my wife knows that you guys are old enough to understand, or just movie savvy enough to know the birdcage. Because my wife's assuming that you're all idiots.
I don't want them to think that I talk bad about a dead person and call.
No,
him
I know you didn't call Robin Williams gay, but he played a gay character in Birdcage. That's okay.
He did another gay one too.
He's done a bunch. He had a gay voice that he would do constantly. Like every time Robin Williams would do, anytime that he would talk, he would be 7 or 8 different people during the same conversation. And usually one of them would be gay. Gay Elmer Fudd, that was a go-to. You know, I mean, so, you know, you didn't say anything bad about Robin Williams.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm here for you. Okay, so will Golden Stardust continue to build, and what will happen with those two? I'm very sorry about all of that. That was a crazy situation. So I don't know. I think we'll see more of that. Hopefully they'll put a greater emphasis on Golden Stardust. That'll be a lot of fun. I'm assuming tonight's going to be a big night for Bad News Barrett and Dean Ambrose. I'm assuming that we're going to see a lot of those two because they got to build this feud a little bit quicker. I'm sure we'll see more BNZ segments, the Bad News Zone. But I could see Dean Ambrose parodying that in some way, you know, some kind of lunatic fringe zone or something. You never know what Dean Ambrose is going to do. It's kind of the beauty of the guy. So I'm sure they're going to continue to further the feud between Paige and the Bellas. Will Paige get some help? Does she need any? Are they going to start teasing some dissension between the Bella twins again? Because some people feel that we're going to get Bella versus Bella at WrestleMania. God, I hope not. But if they're going to, they're going to need to start building that now, you would think. At least some kind of twinge. But it seems like that these two Bellas are back on the same page and just as tight as they were before all of the craziness when Nikki turned on Brie. I don't think that is going to happen again so soon. But what I've liked is, the only thing that I've liked about the situation with the Bellas is since they have reunited, they're not twins anymore. You know, they both have a very distinctive look, which is cool. There's no more of that twin magic bullshit. They look a lot different now, and they act a little differently. It's very cool. So at least that's an evolution of their characters. You know, Paige is fairly red hot right now. I mean, the fans are clearly in her corner. I think she needs a match to stretch her out, though. I think we need to see why we love Paige so much in the first place. I would love to see her take on someone from NXT at some point. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, that's a pipe dream, really. But I want to see them stretch out a match between her and somebody. Give her 6-7 minutes with someone. Let's see some really good action out of Paige. What would be so hard about that? Maybe Paige taking on Natty for some reason. Let's see some good action from Paige. Kind of give us a reason to want her to be champion. I mean, everybody wants her to be champion anyway, but I mean, we want to see a bigger build for her in the future. What better way than to start having her have a few matches, get rid of the Bella twins, and then boom, AJ Lee comes back, And then we got AJ and Paige at WrestleMania. That's what I'm looking for. And the final thing for the preview tonight is, and I'm sure they're going to put a big emphasis on it because they haven't yet, this seems to be the perfect opportunity to be one of those shows that is really about John Cena. John Cena and Rusev are probably going to get quite a heavy package about them throughout the show. They're going to be playing this fear card, I think. They're going to be trying to give us another reason why John Cena should be the underdog. And I think it's going to lead to John Cena taking the belt off of Rusev at Fastlane, only to help put him over bigger at WrestleMania. I'm still wondering how that's going to work. And Rusev is going to go apeshit after losing to Cena. But I don't. If you have Rusev beat Cena at Fastlane, then it doesn't really seem to make a match at WrestleMania very important. Now, they could do the generic cop-out and have a double count-out or a double disqualification or do something to set up a gimmick match between them at Fastlane. But I don't really think this match needs that. We don't need to see them go extreme against each other to set up like a no falls count anywhere type match, because I think there's enough here already with the prospect of Rusev just going over Cena and maybe Cena going away to kind of make this match sell itself. It's not going to be very high on the card anyway. It's probably going to be the third or fourth match on the card. I assume it's going to be behind Sting and Triple H and, of course, the main event, whatever that turns out to be, and more than likely behind the Undertaker-Bray Wyatt match. So I'm assuming this will be like the fourth biggest card on the match, and that's about where it should be. And I think that's also very telling of where John Cena is, because he had a match very similarly placed last year, against Bray Wyatt. So it's just very interesting. Everyone always talks about Cena this, Cena that, but we can't see Cena right now. And I think we're going to see less of him for a little while. And maybe people are going to miss him. Maybe they're going to be able to figure out a way to turn him heel in a manner that would make sense. I mean, just a little bit of, absence makes the heart grow fonder type situation. I don't know. But he seems to have been getting less and less of the mixed reactions, but I think that has to do with Roman Reigns. It's a very strange situation. I mentioned it a second ago, but I didn't really talk about it. But yeah, I'm also assuming we're going to see more of the build, if not a full-on explanation or a full-on call-out between Bray Wyatt and The Undertaker. Bray last week wore an Undertaker-style robe. I mean, you saw the little spikes on him and everything. It's getting more blatant and more obvious. I don't think anyone is really questioning at this point. But when is there going to be a response? When is this just going to be taken to a whole new level? Will Bray get taken to the ring in a casket? I could see something like that happen. Druids, bringing out a casket. The crowd goes crazy, and it's Bray Wyatt. And then he stands in the middle of the ring, and he cuts a promo on The Undertaker. And then the lights go out, and then there's The Undertaker. That would be a great way to inject some life into a night like tonight, where I don't think it's going to be a huge card. That would be a great way to do that. That would be a lot of fun. So what do you guys think? What do you think of Raw? Are you guys excited about this Raw? How is the build of Fastlane affecting you right now? Is it landing? Are they missing the spots? Tell me what you guys think of the product at the moment. Remember, we got a lot of cool things this week. We got another NXT pay-per-view, TakeOver Rival. That's going to be great on Wednesday. Is Lucha Underground going to be able to capitalize on the really strong show they had last week? What's TNA going to do? TNA's got all these tapings out there, so everyone knows what's going on with the product. But is TNA going to do something to kind of grab headlines? It seems like they've been out of the media coverage since moving to Destination America. So what are they going to do? Ring of Honor. Here's a quick story to end out the show. Ring of Honor seems to be having the purse strings completely tightened on them by their network. So it's crazy to think that Ring of Honor might be in more trouble than we knew, and their network is really starting to put the reins down on them. So that could be interesting. Is Ring of Honor possibly going under? What do you guys think of that? If they do, where would you like to see some of the top stars go? That's another good question. Tell me what you guys think of all those things and more right in the comment section below. Looking for another really, really strong week out of the channel. Got some new stuff premiering over on the Joe Cronin Show, so make sure you check out youtube.com/JoeCroninShow.com to see my new content that I'm putting on his channel. I started a new show yesterday, very bare bones. I didn't put any graphics or anything because I wasn't really expecting it to be put up, but it was a pilot. I was just kind of showing Joe the concept, but he liked it and he put it up on the channel, and it is Dead on Dave Debunks the Dirt Sheets, and this one was really funny. It was about Bill Goldberg, and I'm actually premiering another new show on the Joe Cronin Show today. It's going to be very interesting, a lot of fun. I think you guys are going to dig that as well. So make sure you're checking out Joe Cronin Show for all that content as well. Make sure if you're a hockey fan or if you like sports talk at all, check out Tommy C, my boy Tommy C. They had arguably one of their best shows last night on Shot from the Point. I wasn't on it last night. I will be on it next Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you're checking that out, as well as every single day at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. I joined Tommy C for In the Crease with Tommy C on Shot from the Point, the #1 hockey podcast site on YouTube. Make sure you check that out. A lot of fun stuff going on there. But definitely check out In the Crease Live. Shot from the Point Live from last night, because it was absolutely hysterical. Just an absolute riot. Tommy NC 2010 calls in at one point, and it's great. So make sure you check all that stuff out. But other than that, we're out of here. Thanks for joining. Like, subscribe, and share as always. May the force be with you, kids. Make it so. I know, blasphemy, right? We'll see you next time. Peace.